My name is Elisa, and I'm a technical support analyst on the VertiGIS Studio team. In this tech tip video, we'll go over the basics of VertiGIS Studio Search, including examples of what it does, a quick overview of how it works, and steps for getting started with it in your own environment. So, what is VertiGIS Studio Search? And what makes it different from the built-in search service in VertiGIS Studio Web? The simple answer is that VertiGIS Studio Search is a dedicated GIS search engine which provides advanced search capabilities so your users can quickly find the data they need. It's faster and more customizable than the built-in search service, and it allows users to see relevant results in the search suggestions before they even hit enter. To show you what I mean, let's take a look at a VertiGIS Studio web app. We'll try searching for Government Street. This app is just using the built-in standard Esri search service, so we see some suggestions based on past history and geocoder results, but we have to hit enter before any actual features pop up. Additionally, if we open up the settings for the search component in the app designer, there aren't too many options available for customizing the behavior. In contrast, let's take a look at a VertiGIS Studio web app that has been set up with VertiGIS Studio Search. We'll try searching again for Government Street. This time, we see features right away in the search suggestions, and they're nicely categorized by layer. If we click on the one that we want, it goes straight to the feature that we want so that we don't have to sift through a whole list of results. Opening up the settings in Search Designer reveals a variety of options for configuration which were previously unavailable. This all works thanks to indexing. Essentially, VertiGIS Studio Search creates a table of key details about the data so that it can quickly find and rank results without having to dig through all of the information. This makes the search process much faster, and it also offers greater flexibility for configuring the behavior of the search tool. For example, you can enable fuzzy searches so that results will still appear even if the user makes a typo. You can also customize the text that the user sees in the search suggestions to help them find what they're looking for. Now, that might seem like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple to get started. There are two different options when creating a VertiGIS Studio Search configuration. One option is to use the universal search, which just indexes your data in the backend so that you can access it using the VertiGIS Studio Search API or using a workflow. A sample workflow is actually available on the downloads page for VertiGIS Studio Search, so you can get started more quickly. Today, though, we'll be taking a look at the simpler option, which is to use the built-in integration with VertiGIS Studio Web. This indexes your data in the backend and also links up with VertiGIS Studio Web for a seamless front-end user interface. To start, let's open up our app in VertiGIS Studio Web Designer. In the components list on the right, we'll scroll down until we find the map component. Clicking on it brings up its settings. Now, we'll select the layer that we want to index. Under the Task Settings section, there's a search type dropdown that we'll use to select VertiGIS Studio Search. This will keep all of the existing settings around which fields are searchable, so there isn't too much more we need to do. Let's save the app here and use the Open in VertiGIS Studio Search link to view the search settings in VertiGIS Studio Search Designer. Right off the bat, we get a blue pop-up asking us to save the search configuration so that our sign-in token gets stored. This is normal and just gives VertiGIS Studio Search permission to index layers that aren't shared publicly. Let's go ahead and save the search configuration as requested. In the upper left, we see the status of the search index. This is telling us that the indexing process is complete and that the search configuration is ready to use. In other situations, it might say that the data is in the process of being indexed or that it needs to be re-indexed because it's out of date. To make it easier to keep your search configuration up to date, we actually offer a number of options for automatically re-indexing the data. Getting back to the setup, since we're not interested in configuring advanced settings, we don't really have much to do in Search Designer either. The one catch is that the auto-populated field for the search suggestions is maybe not the most helpful for the average user, so let's change it to something more descriptive. We can even preview what the results might look like based on the real data. That looks good to me, so let's save the configuration again. Back in our app, when we search for a feature, we immediately get suggestions from the layer we indexed with useful information about the suggested results. And just like that, we've set up VertiGIS Studio Search. To recap, we took a look at what VertiGIS Studio Search does, how it works, and how to quickly get it set up. Hopefully, that gives you a good starting point for optimizing and enhancing the search tool in your own GIS apps. If you would like to see more tech tips, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the VertiGIS channel. As always, thank you for watching.